everybody.
Happy Friday.
TGIF, happy Friday. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Judy's voice is a little bit tired tonight, but we have the lovely, incomparable Judy, the YouTube lawyer. And then we have Tracey, who is a court reporter, who is joining us tonight, and Nadine, who was with us last weekend. So Tracey, and me, Jackie St. Germain, I'm also here. Tracey, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what got you interested in the case? And
yeah, so I've been a court reporter for 30 years, and so I listen to all this stuff all the time. But this case, just as soon as he was murdered, maybe because I'm in the legal profession and it was being talked about down here in Broward County, and so I just was interested in it from the jump. And then as each little thing came out, I think I'm almost a little like all my friends that don't even know this case now know this case because I just don't shut up about it. I think it's the injustice, you know, it's just the injustice and the goal of these people that just makes a lot of people mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you're in Florida, right?
Yes, I live in Broward County, and I do depositions and courts and trials, and I just type them all down. I don't speak.
That's so cool to me. Like the little, I don't know. I mean, it's like a special keyboard, right?
Yeah, there's only 22 keys on the keyboard.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, Tracey, do you happen to have any connection to the Adelson family?
I don't. No.
Okay.
I don't at all. Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Geography.
No, because I used to live up in Port St. Lucie, and then hearing all those calls from Charlie, he would be like talking to Donna, like, well, I'm in Port St. Lucie and I'm dry. It's just a weird thing when it's where you live, and you imagine, his terrible butt driving down 95. So
yeah, I know. He was working at a dentist that I was going to in Sarasota. And I saw it from one of Judy's comments, Dr. Greenberg. I'm like, he did my root canal. I'm like, oh my God, maybe it was Charlie.
No, you weren't knocked out during the root canal, were you?
I go in like, I have to be sedated. So I go in like kind of loopy to begin with. I'm like, I wouldn't even have known.
Well, that's the one that you said wasn't he what a great job either, right?
No, he did. It was terrible. It was like, I've never been in pain like that after a root canal ever. I had to go back like 2 or 3 times. So.
Wow.
So neither one from what we've heard. So who knows?
Yeah. So I was wondering, Tracey and Nadine, have you guys driven to Dolce Vita or any of those places?
No, but Joel did from STS. So I watched his video, and it's funny. I was just at the Miami courthouse last week, and I was going to drive by the Continuum, and I forgot. And then I got on 95 traffic, and
that's so funny.
Yeah.
So Joel did, and La Belle-Vie. Remember that channel? She also did some Adelson touring on one of her videos. And I remember when she did it, I was like kind of torn because I'm like, I don't want to see the places they're associated with. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Like their house, I've thought about it. Because I know people who live in that same area. It's an older neighborhood here in Coral Springs where they lived. But there are some pretty big houses and, but it's an older neighborhood. And I know people who live over there. So I was like, maybe I should drive over there. And I just haven't done it. But Tracey's in Plantation, like 20 minutes from Coral Springs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think Misha Janice also did some sort of tour
of Charlie's house.
Yeah.
Sale, yeah.
Yeah. So we were so excited to see that, to look inside one of Charlie's houses, and everybody's like criticizing his decor and, the crappy layout and the lions.
It did seem odd.
Yeah.
Like an odd layout.
Mm-hmm.
And for the location, I mean, that house is very expensive because it's on the water and has a boat dock and all that stuff.
Yeah, sailboat access.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we are live. So thank you. Thank you, Sonny, for your support. Yeah. Well, first, we'll just go ahead and get back to the use of deposition. And thankfully, Nadine and Jackie are willing to keep reading because I think I totally overdid it today. So can't talk too well. So thank you guys, you beautiful ladies, for being here and saving me. So
Girl squad.
people don't have to keep complaining like, oh my God, you sound terrible. Oh,
People always complain about my voice. They're like, I hate your vocal fry. I'm like, I film because it's always on my voiceovers. I said, yo, it's like 2 a.m. I have 3 kids who are homeschooled. I talk to them 12, 14 hours a day, and I film at 2 a.m. Like, I'm tired, everybody. I think some people are doing it on purpose, so it irritates people when they hear it.
Mm.
I don't know.
Oh,
I just do it because my voice is sleepy.
Yeah. Well, Nadine, do you want to ask the questions?
I'll ask the
And
questions.
then Jackie can be Sarah. And if you feel tired, then maybe Tracey could take over sometimes. Is that okay?
Oh, sure. I read
Okay.
these every day. Yeah.
Okay. That way Tracey doesn't feel like she's just sitting there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine. You guys are good.
Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead with question.
So, what's the significance of her saying that, most cases are solved within the first 24 hours?
It means to me that I've given up hope that it'll be solved.
Okay.
And that felt like she was trying to get me to stop asking about it. She was trying to get me to stop. Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that was the purpose of that statement.
Okay. So, advance us forward to anything else that may have been strange about her behavior or.
Sorry, it's a little tricky without questions, but yeah, let me try to go into the next thing. Give me 1 second. Okay, so then about a year after the homicide, her tone talking about it shifts from a like, I'm in a lot of fear over my safety, my boy's safety. I'm terrified. I feel like I'm a refugee. I feel like my clients, to a tone that I would describe as crass and inappropriate. So, for example, she would say, Danny got whacked.
Okay.
And I thought,
And Q. Sorry, I got lost. But let me make sure that I got the correct understanding. So immediately after the murder, and you said for about a year's period of time, she's actively expressing fear for herself as well as fear for her children.
yes,
Meaning, I do not know who did this. I'm scared that somebody is coming for us too.
absolutely, yes.
Okay. And so if we take that out a year, then we're to the point of July of 2015. I'm not suggesting that it inaudible for a month, but you said that there's a change that happens. Are we at about the right time period, or do you think that it's later or earlier?
No, I think it's around there, but this isn't going to be one of those things I can really pin down because it's not like it happened along or with a holiday or along with like a birthday or something.
No, but because it's tone and demeanor and voice inflection and things like that.
Yes. But I'll say after the dust settled and some time had passed, I think it's about a year, her tone shifted.
But using your phrase, the dust had settled.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So her tone shifts to inappropriate things to.
I thought it was a crude way to speak about the man's death.
No question. Any other examples?
Not that I remember. No, I don't have any other examples.
And so it shifts from being scared and protective to, I don't know what's a good verbalization of her overall demeanor then?
I think a little bit crude and crass is how I would describe it. Those are my words.
Okay. And that's based on the one example, the whack.
Uh-huh. And then I believed it was used on more than one occasion, but I definitely remember it on at least one occasion.
That term.
Yes.
Okay. Anything beyond Danny got whacked that, in your view, shifted her behavior or demeanor into a category of being crude and crass?
No.
Okay. So that really gets us to, summer of 2015. 2017, you said, was the end of the relationship. Are there?
Yeah, but there were things in between, right? When the probable cause affidavits hit,
Right,
she called me at work and she said, when the arrest, sorry, this is before the probable cause affidavit, but when the first two arrests were made.
right.
And she called me at work and she said, Sarah, I'm shaking. And I said, what's going on? She said, arrests have been made in Danny's murder. And I said, that's wonderful. That's so good. You should be relaxed. You're safe. That is good. And she said, what if my crazy brother Charlie hired a hitman? And I said, that's your problem. And
Well, the probable cause affidavit intimated that as being the case, did it not?
no, this is pre the probable cause affidavit containing Charlie and Donna, but right when the two arrests had been made. I think that happened before, but the affidavits containing the names of Charlie and Donna happened shortly after that.
So she says to you, what if my brother Charlie hired a hitman?
And I said, that's his problem.
Meaning Charlie's, not hers.
Yeah, right. I did not believe that it was in any way possible that Wendy could have been involved in this.
Okay.
So during this conversation, and so she said something about they're asking me to give a statement. And and I told her to give a statement. I said, when you gave a statement earlier, it was, it really cleared the air. It helped you to so that everybody knew that you had nothing to hide and no involvement. And I think you should do that again. Now, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I practiced for many years. I've never given a client the advice to go ahead and give a statement after your
I was kind of wondering.
I've never done that. I promise you. I have never done that
Why would you give that advice to your best friend?
because I thought that she was being sincere. I thought that she would be believed and I thought that it would clear the air for her in the quickest way possible. And I did not think that there was a chance that she would be involved in it. I thought her very best move is to prove in the court of public opinion, not the court of law, public opinion, that she's not involved in this. And so being open and forthcoming in my mind was the best way to do that.
Friendship advice, not necessarily legal advice.
I would never give it to a client, but this. You only get clients who give statements and then the bad things happen, right? The arrest happens. You don't hear from the people who give a statement and they're absolved of any suspicion, right? That you don't, that doesn't, that case doesn't come on your desk as an attorney because it doesn't become a case. So I believe that she was being sincere and truthful, and that especially with the suspicion clouding around her brother, right? That would happen because she was now telling me that she suspects her brother or
Wait a minute. Hang on just a second. Because a moment ago, we were talking as if none of this information about Charlie was available.
it wasn't. It wasn't.
But when you said when suspicion is clouding around her brother, what suspicion?
From her phrase. So she wouldn't say, what if my crazy brother Charlie hired a hitman if there wasn't some suspicion in her mind that Charlie had something to do with it?
Okay, fair.
Or could right I don't know, but I didn't have an independent reason to believe that Charlie was involved. She brought it up.
Okay, so
So I told her to go ahead, say you weren't involved. And
were you clear on who was asking for a statement?
no,
I mean, do you know whether it was law enforcement, the media, deposition? Do you have any idea?
no,
Okay.
no. But
But she's
she's asking you, oh, sorry, that's you.
but she's asking you a question of they're asking me to give a statement and I'm not sure whether I should or I'm not going to was basically
It was, I don't know whether I should. And I feel now that she was dissatisfied with my answer, kind of,
okay.
prompting me to say, don't do it. And I think the fact that I was a defense attorney, this is my belief, I think that she felt that I would likely tell her not to talk because that's what defense attorneys do and should do.
Okay. And so I guess what precipitated out of that?
Nothing in the very short term. the phone call ended. I told her not to be afraid, that things are going to work out. It's going to be okay. And sometime thereafter, Charlie and Donna are implicated when, in a probable cause affidavit, she does email me and to ask me to give a statement on behalf of the family. Wendy asked me to give a statement, saying that the family is innocent.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a break here. So, Tracey, since you haven't been able to talk for a while, what are your impressions of this part of the deposition?
I think this is amazing. I mean, I've seen lots of people get convicted for a lot less than what they have on Wendy. So I'm, along with everybody else, frustrated why they don't go after her. And hopefully they will. I was hoping that they would before we came on. I thought that would be great.
Or maybe
For
when
us
we're
to
live.
talk about.
Yeah, because people were hoping she'd get arrested on Dan's birthday, but other people like Dave Ehrenberg, he keeps saying it'll happen after Donna's sentencing, which is Monday.
Yeah, that's been moved up, right?
Yeah, Monday, 3 p.m.
Last night, Dave was on STS.
Yes.
And he said he predicts it'll be 30 days from her sentencing, within 30 days of Donna's sentencing. And he originally had said within 60 days of her being convicted. So he's still on the same schedule.
Yeah, that makes me feel better because he's somebody who really knows the whole criminal justice system there. So, but Tracey, do you work for the court system or a company?
I'm a subcontractor. So I'm a 1099. I work for a big company and I'm a freelancer. So I was just on trial this week. I just, every day is something different. So you've seen it all. Well, most, not all, but seen a lot in 30 years.
Wow.
And thing about the thing about being whacked, that's heavy. That would be really, really bad in front of a jury, in my opinion.
Demented.
And Jeff Lacasse also said in one of his police interviews that she had been up in Tallahassee at, I guess, one of their friends' bar mitzvahs or bat mitzvahs. And she made a comment like that to someone.
That he got his head blown off.
That he had gotten his head blown off. Danny got his head blown off. And the person kind of told her, hey, that's kind of insensitive or something to that effect.
Super inappropriate.
Yeah.
Very inappropriate.
And this, I think, predated when Sarah heard it too, because that was, I think, in March or April of 2015. So Sarah's talking the next summer. This was the following spring. So this even predates her saying this to Sarah. So obviously she's gotten comfortable. And, her, in my opinion, her true colors are showing.
Yep.
And that writer's podcast, that writing class, she was absolutely gloating on that podcast.
She's so full of herself.
Oh my God. She was gloating about the fact that he was dead. Why talk about it? One.
I hope they have more women than men on this perjury.
And then she's, my latex spouse and all. I mean, it's gloating.
Oh yeah,
it's
it was
gloating.
Gross.
Yeah. And I thought it was revealing when she said Danny always told her that he knew the real her.
Yeah.
Okay. People think you're so nice, but I know the real you. That's what I think caused them to hate him.
Yeah.
Because he knew who they really were, not their fake facade and veneer that they put out. And he wasn't kowtowing to them. He didn't get the memo that Princess Wendy was supposed to get her way all the time and be catered to. And I think that's what caused, because I always thought, what caused this intense hatred of him? Because while we're not behind closed doors, we don't know what was going on in their marriage and stuff. I don't get the impression from his friends and things like that he was a bad person, or anything like that. Like, what caused them to hate him so much? And it's because they're narcissists.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what Jackie Fulford asked her? She's reading out an email that Wendy wrote in, I think, 2013. She said, I knew at my wedding day that I didn't like him, let alone loved him. I knew on our fancy honeymoon, when we were there and I was enjoying being there, but not necessarily with him. she never, she said, what did she say? That I was anxious to start, a family with somebody, and he wanted to do it with me, basically. And so
so
she never, I know, it's terrible. She never even really loved him. I literally started crying during my live when they started reading the email that he wrote her after she left, begging her to give him another chance,
Can
let's
we get
please
our
work
hands
this
on that
out.
email?
Hmm?
Can we get that email?
We
Because it
probably
was in
could.
evidence.
We could write a FOIA request into the prosecutor's
That and
office.
Rob's deposition, I'm
yeah,
interested in.
yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. So it does seem like it was because Donna pressured her to pick this guy because he sounded good on paper. And she was
Exactly.
hoping he was going to be a totally rich partner of a big law firm.
Yep.
So she was disappointed when he decided to become a professor instead.
Well, they have no depth,
Exactly. Very
Mhm.
shallow people.
Yeah.
Jeff talks about how Wendy is super, super image conscious and worried
Yes.
about what people will think.
Everything is how everything looks to other people.
Exactly.
How they're
Are you going to
perceived.
tell anybody?
Yeah.
Are you, and
Yeah.
very shallow people. And I just think they have to go after Wendy. They have
I
to.
think they're going to. I think one of the things that's making, and me too, us all so anxious is how quickly Donna was arrested after Charlie.
Yeah, that was so shocking.
Yeah.
Well, but this
was
is a
great.
totally different circumstance. I don't think in a normal situation, if she hadn't been running to Vietnam, she wouldn't have been arrested a week after
No,
his
Mhm.
conviction.
no.
That was an emergency situation that they had to get her when they did. And so I think the timeline for everybody, including me, was like, okay, a week after, so we're giving you 6 days to go ahead and arrest Wendy after this case closes.
Mm.
So I think that was, kind of unrealistic because as soon as she's arrested, the motions start. It's not like, Georgia and Sarah and everybody just get to chill out for a year until
Right.
the court case. I mean, you look at Donna's court docket, there's at least like 250 different motions on there. It's like
Mhm.
450 lines total for, replies and everything. So,
Yeah, it's
the
a
work starts
balance.
immediately for Georgia. And this is
It's
not her only case. I wish it were.
Yeah.
right. But it's
Yeah,
been a
she's
long, long
busy.
time. The witnesses need to be able to put this behind them too, right?
Agreed.
I
And the
was really
Markells.
and the Markells, of course, of course. I was worried about Luis Rivera for Donna's trial because his memory was kind of at Charlie's.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, is he going to waffle? But he actually did pretty good. I think they probably prepared him better,
I think the good thing about
refreshing his memory.
Yeah, I think none of this stands on any one thing. So that's
Right.
the good thing about it. So if something doesn't hit like you land like you want it, then you've got 50 other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just them, just who they are, But Wendy will have. I have to say this delicately because I do this for a living. So she will have very good counsel. Let's just say, yeah. So, but Georgia, hands down, in 30 years of doing what I do, she is the best attorney I've ever seen, ever. And I just really, she's so effective. She's just everything an attorney should be. So I'm very impressed.
Wow, that's like a very high compliment because you've been in court and seen tons and tons of lawyers.
Yeah.
I know. I will compliment an attorney every now and again, if I feel like they really killed it, I'll give them a compliment.
Tracey, what did you think of Fulford and Seltman?
This is where I have to be careful.
Speaking of compliments,
this is where I got to be a little careful.
Okay.
Let's just say, let's just say, regardless of who it was, she wasn't going to walk. I think you could have Johnny Cochran in there. I don't think it was going to happen.
100%.
And I think that I do believe the same thing with Wendy. I do not think she will get off of this, no matter how good
she could hire Jose Baez. She's not getting off.
I agree. I personally feel like they had the most against Wendy. than they do on everybody. And I think we just
Really?
haven't
Oh
seen it.
yeah.
I feel
I
like
think it's still
they have
tough.
WhatsApp details that we know nothing about. And there's no
Yeah.
way that Georgia would ask her over and over and over about WhatsApp if they did.
Well, there's also the space in between the evidence. There's silence. Those silences when important things are happening, I think are going to really speak a lot. And Georgia and Sarah Catherine Dugan are masters at putting together a cogent story where it is so easy to understand. They're not all over the place. It starts here, it ends here, and you're just in it. I mean, you're just sitting there and you're captivated.
Yeah.
And that is a skill that, that is hard. It's hard to do. And they do a lot of work to hone that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very effective.
Yeah. So Tracey, do you want to take over and read some more of the STEPO?
Sure.
Okay. So Nadine, you can still be the questioner, which is Kevin Morris, the previous attorney.
Donna's old attorney.
Yeah. So it's Morris asking the question. So you can start with the question.
But that does not have anything to do with the end of the relationship in 2017. That's just something that you bring to the table now in terms of...
No, it does. It does have something to do with it because I felt like she was protecting her family. She was aware of her family's involvement, but trying to get other people to believe that her family wasn't involved. So part of that...
What involvement did she say that her family had, other than that question of what if Charlie hired a hitman?
None other than there was no other involvement that she said her family had. But that question to me meant she either believed or strongly suspected Charlie was involved. And then I took exception to asking me to give a statement to the media saying the family is innocent. I took exception to that. And I also took exception to this. My poor brother Charlie is having panic attacks, as though he should be the subject of sympathy in this circumstance.
I've got to conclude, forget about Charlie for a minute, but have you drawn the conclusion then that Donna is guilty or the Adelsons in general are guilty of doing something?
Yes, I have.
What are they guilty of doing?
Conspiring to murder Dan Markel.
Okay.
And that is not all the Adelsons. Donna, Charlie, and Wendy, in my opinion, are guilty of that crime.
Okay.
And soliciting somebody to kill him.
Well, he did ask.
I love how they're like, is that all? Is that the only thing that he just said that he hired the hitman? Is that... Yeah, no, that's pretty much all of it. But thank you. That's enough.
Where were we?
I think line 16.
Okay. You would agree with me that your opinion is based on what you've read in probable cause affidavits?
Yes, sir.
Also, rumor, newspaper articles, general information that's out in the public domain?
Let me say what I observed personally. Police reports, trial testimony, that is what I'm basing my opinion on.
Okay, and
the reason why those are little dashes too is because the other person cut the other person off. Just to let everybody know why. I don't think I'm basing my opinion on rumors.
Okay. You're basing it on trial testimony or police reports or things of that nature?
Sworn testimony and my own observations.
Okay. But you've utilized those things in order to arrive at your opinion?
That's right.
You would agree that you don't have all of the information. The depositions, you didn't watch all of the trial, did you? Or trials, I should say. There have been 4 of them now.
There have been 3.
Fact check. 3, I'm sorry.
And I believe I have watched all of them.
Okay. And then the court's rulings on the evidence and things of that.
I wouldn't see like voir dire and the pretrial motions. I wouldn't see what wasn't streamed. So,
okay.
But everything, and then the ... is because the person just trailed off. They didn't get cut off. That's the difference between those two things. But everything, all of the trial testimony, opening and closing arguments, I'm a defense attorney. And it's something that touched my life in a very personal way and really affected my sense of safety in the world. I was very, very impacted personally by this case.
Okay. But the opinions that you've arrived at, in one sense, it would be like a juror. You're watching or listening to the evidence, correct?
Yes.
All right. And in another sense, you've got a personal, not investment, but you've got a personal viewpoint of this where you had a relationship for a lengthy period of time and that relationship came to an end.
Yes.
But beyond those factors of Wendy's behavioral changes or statements or things that she asked or said, there's not any additional evidence that you have or that you've gained through personal investigation or anything.
Not that I can remember. As far as I can remember, I have told you what I know.
So you send an email to Wendy that says, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Did Wendy respond to that?
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't want to be friends. It's just, I need to take space from this friendship for my own sort of mental health and my own, journey. She sent a really kind response back, just like, take the space you need, my friend. And then over the next year, she probably sent either two texts or two, I think I heard from her twice, either by text or email, sort of saying, hey, I miss my friend. And I didn't respond.
Okay. Yeah. If you could forward that email. And I don't know if you have the text or not, but that would, if you do, great.
I don't know if I have the sort of follow up emails. I don't remember. I do know that I do believe that I have the email saying I need space and her response. I believe I have those.
So, how did you become a witness in this case? How did your name come to the attention of anyone?
So after the last trial, I saw Phil Markel's victim impact statement on, I watched it. And I was moved to tears. I was very, very sad for the Markels. I hadn't realized how old they had become. For some reason in my head, they were just frozen as much younger people. But I didn't realize they're hovering around 80. And the fact that Phil spent so much time talking about the grandparent alienation and how they don't have a meaningful relationship with the children, it made me feel really awful. And I knew I had been following the grandparent legislation, and I knew that if they were to prove some sort of civil liability, that they might have a shot at a court ordered meaningful visitation. And so I talked to some people I really respect, some mentors in my life, and I said, is that, if I were to provide information, do you think it would put the Markels in a position to petition for meaningful visitation? And I talked to, one of these people is a lawyer who went to Harvard. One of these people is a lawyer that went to Yale. They're two of the smartest people I know. And they said, yeah, it's, of course, I knew the minute you say something, you can become part of a criminal trial. And that was not my goal. I certainly don't want to be part of a criminal trial, but I knew that was a possibility. And so I felt like if I didn't say anything, I'm not helping the Markels who deserve help.
Well, who did you say something to?
Mr. Snyder. I sent an email to Mr. Snyder.
Who's Mr. Snyder?
The lawyer, Orrin Snyder, the lawyer that represents the Markels.
Oh, okay. And so the email went to that him or
Him.
do you have a copy of that by chance?
I'm sure I do.
If you could forward that also, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
So pick up from there. Did they contact you or what happened from there?
Yeah, he contacted me back and we arranged a phone call and I told him the information I had. And nothing happened for a couple months. And then he contacted me and said, I'm giving your name to Georgia Kappelman.
Okay.
And that's my origin story here.
Did anybody from Mrs. Kappelman's office reach out to you, or what happened there?
Again, months passed and Jason Newland, the investigator,
Okay.
contacted me and said, we'd like to talk to you about what you know. And so at some point we arranged a call and we discussed the same things you and I are discussing.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
A few months ago, maybe May. May sounds about right. April, May sounds right. Oh, sorry, you're freezing up just a bit.
Yeah, I broke up there. It would have been well after Donna's arrest?
Well after Donna's arrest.
Okay. And so he spoke with you in May or June of this year?
Jason Newland was on the phone and Georgia Kappelman was also on the phone.
Okay.
I think it was April or May. I could consult my day planner to give you a date, but I think I could piece together a date for you if needed. Now I'm going to cough.
Sure.
About that.
I mean, maybe you can communicate that forwarding through whatever you do to the state. That would be fine. If you don't mind, let me take a 2-3 minute break and check with Mr. Rashbaum on anything that I've missed and that sort of thing, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Okay. I think we can take a break. I'm sorry, Tracey, to get you, make you talk so much. Do you have something to drink?
I don't, but I'm going to go grab some water.
Okay, go get, I always
have
to
my water.
Multiple drinks here to keep
And I
myself.
have an energy drink.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, so, but I do want to comment. I mean, it's great that Sarah was prompted to contact the attorney because of Phil Markel's victim statement. But on the other hand, it didn't really help them get visitation because the Markel Act would only apply if Wendy got arrested or got held civilly liable for his wrongful death. So of course that didn't happen, but apparently just having that Markel Act passed kind of shamed Wendy into agreeing to let them see the kids a little bit, but it's been very, very tightly controlled visits. So very few communications still.
Can you imagine what those boys have been told about the Markells? Why the visits are that way, why it's so strange. And I can only imagine. And I want to add, Georgia's rebuttal was so powerful when she read Donna's email about how Ben is not sad about losing his father. I mean, outrageous. But can you imagine how they must have felt they couldn't show sadness or grieve their father in front of grandma and maybe not in front of anybody? What kind of reaction they would have gotten from Donna if they were crying about their dad or anything like that? I can't even imagine.
I'm sure they didn't even have to be told. You know, they
could have read the room.
They would feel that. I mean, here she's talking, smack about Dan.
He's
literally
stupid.
10 days after. Yeah, well, that, and then what she says to, what Sarah Youssef over here is what, everybody says he's this beloved professor, but he's a real jerk. Like, it's just at Ben's birthday of all things. Like,
it's so trashy. It's like they couldn't even pretend to be like normal people.
Well, I mean, I've always been so, upset about this case. And then I became a grandma twice now. I have a 18-month-old granddaughter and a 5-month-old grandson.
Oh, congratulations.
And it takes on a whole new level of, for the Markells. Just, I can't imagine. I mean, my daughter and her son stationed there. Of course, they live in Utah, but we FaceTime every day. And, I fly out there and see them. And I just can't imagine just not knowing that, not knowing them. It's just pouring salt in the wound.
Every time anybody posts something about sympathy for Donna, I'm like, this is the woman who murdered Phil and Ruth's son, paid money to murder him, and then sat in Ruth's face and said, who would have done such a thing in broad daylight?
So trashy and fake.
Don't have any pity for this woman. She's a demon in a human mask.
Pity for her?
And so is Wendy. And that's why they cannot let her get away with it. There's more than enough circumstantial evidence. I mean, Jackie thinks they have, like a smoking gun against Wendy, maybe, but
I genuinely do.
Yeah. I don't know. If they don't have anything else we don't know about, there's enough that we know about that taken collectively, there's no way that woman wasn't involved in it.
It's interesting. I was thinking about this morning about, the interest in this. And I give Ruth Markel all the credit, really. I just, she shows her face. She she's so we all say how poised she is. I wouldn't be that person. I know I wouldn't. I would probably be in jail. There would be a lot of things, but she is. But she's effective. You know, she keeps her cool, and you know, obviously she's hurting, but she gets all of us to love her son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally. Well, Jackie, let's try to sell your channel because Jackie puts so much work into her special videos and songs, and you know, it's so hilarious. So she's okay with us showing a portion of her, what was it, June Chinta video that you did?
I love June. I think she's so sweet. I don't feel like people give her enough credit for really being in like the worst part of her life. Like she genuinely loved Charlie, like you could tell. And for what we've all think of him, like really, have we not all dated somebody who every one of our friends was like, why? Like why? But aside from being a murderer and cheating on her, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, probably had some special gifts that he brought back from the Philippines too.
It was the money.
Yeah, the money. Well, like she loves Louis Vuitton.
Yes, and she's doing it all on her own now. You know.
Well, that's fine, but it's nice to have a sugar daddy.
I was thinking he was bringing back some other special gifts, but you don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's play this. Thank you, Jackie. So we'll play a few minutes of this. And I still haven't seen this before because you have so many videos and it's hard to find things sometimes.
Yeah, this is a very long video, and this video is overwhelmingly shadow banned on YouTube because it goes into a lot of like, you know, it's CSA and really hard subject matter, but you know, I try to keep it as light as possible, but this was hard. This one was hard for me to make.
Okay.
Honestly.
But I'm surprised. So YouTube didn't take down your video?
No, they didn't take it down, but a lot of people will like, they'll be able to find it and then they'll go back on my channel and then it won't be there type of thing. So it doesn't always show up on my, in my video feed. And it's like, you know, it was demonetized because, you know, I didn't want to sugarcoat it. I wanted to tell the story the way that I felt like it deserved to be told. And it's one of my most proud. I'm very proud of this piece overall, but it's a 3-hour long watch.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Sherry
well,
D.
We'll just play like 4 or 5 minutes or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I texted her back. Okay. I'm not going to not respond. I'm not like hanging out with her. I'm not planning on hanging out with her. I am with you for now. So.
Why are you going to not respond then?
June, guess what? Please don't aggravate me. And be like, well,
you're basically telling me it's okay to still talk to her.
June, as a friend, yes. As like someone who's flirting, no.
You guys aren't friends, though.
I knew her before we hooked up. I was friends with her before I met you. I need to be rude to anyone I've ever spoken to. I was friends with her.
You don't have to be rude, but like you slept with her while you're with me.
Well, you told me before I left on the trip, you can sleep with whoever you want because it's not like we're together.
That didn't count then for you?
Well, did you say that to me?
I probably did, but that's not the only
thing. And when I said I love you at the airport, what did you say? Okay, have a good trip. I'm like,
but you planned that in advance.
No, I actually didn't know that first of all, the trip had been in the works since the last trip. And okay.
No, because you asked me what's wrong and I'm going to tell you.
Okay. I'll tell you what's wrong. You're aggravating me.
You act like I make stuff up in my head. Like it's not okay to be upset that you slept with her. Like during
you're telling me you couldn't call your mother on Mother's Day because my family was here. That's just stupid.
I
if
spoke
you're
to
stupid
them
or you're lying.
Saying, like I like occupy my time with you a lot, and then you're
Dude, my
not even
family
like
was so-
do one thing for me.
What would you like me to do?
It's to freaking tell her you have a girlfriend.
Okay, I will.
And like you've told me you are, and you'd never do it.
I will. Should I?
Next week.
June, I have enough going on right now. What was Friday?
Like, what are you referencing?
Oh, Friday when you wanted to be stupid and tell me that you dated a guy for 6 weeks and he was such a good guy and you slept with a friend of his like the first night you met him when you didn't owe him shit, and you were making me feel like you missed out on a great opportunity to be with some other guy. Like, that's nice. Or then when we go to Bimini Boatyard and you're like, we were having a great time except you're upset about something. Like, stop.
Bimini?
Yeah. Last time we were there, you bitched the entire way home on
I just
a
told you
boat.
Friday because, like, I tell you almost everything, and you've been my best friend almost because I see you every day. I didn't want you to take it like that.
I don't live on social media. You do. I don't really. I go on fucking WhatsApp to text Scott, and he's telling me how great his life is, and I got you sitting here complaining nonstop. What do you think I think while I'm talking to him?
I'm not trying to complain. I just thought you didn't talk to her anymore.
I really don't. Really don't. I mean,
she's always
if someone's gonna
talking
text. All right, kid, do me a favor. Only come over if you're going to be nice tonight. If you're going to be a pain in the ass, please stay home. It's 8:30. I'd like to watch the basketball game. I'd like to work out with my girlfriend. I'd like to eat some Maine lobsters. That's what I'd like to do. If you want to fucking complain and bitch and do your hair, do that, and I'll do me. So complain, bitch, and do your hair with somebody, and we're good. And I'm trying to spend time with you, but you just not easy.
Well, it just doesn't make me feel like you do when you're talking to her.
I miss the days of having a fucking awesome, smart girl who was beautiful and used to come over and watch the basketball games with me. I do. I'm so happy I have someone who fucking whines and complains and is always upset. That's what I'm grateful for. I'm happy. My life is great now.
Well, what would you think if you're...
June, you make me want to be with other girls. Stop.
What would you think though if you were me and you saw it?
June, I would tell, if you told me they texted you, you know, how was your weekend, and you texted them, it was good.
What a complete asshole Charlie is. I love how him sleeping with other girls is no big deal, and texting other girls that he's likely sleeping with, still also no big deal. But June simply talking about an ex-boyfriend offends Charlie. And what a manipulative fuck when June says, you asked me what's wrong, so I'm going to tell you. And he responds with, I'll tell you what's wrong. You're aggravating me. I mean, God forbid that June wants her boyfriend to be loyal to her. And at this point, they have been dating for more than a year. My heart really goes out to June. I know a lot of people make fun of her, but I don't think that's at all fair, seeing that the only footage we have of her is from highly stressful situations in which she was asked to testify against a man who she clearly still had very strong feelings for, who very clearly manipulated, gaslit, and love-bombed her to the point where she didn't know which way was up. But she is currently absolutely killing it, working it as a realtor in South Florida. And although she was very clearly saddened by Charlie having a child and a dog with another woman, God had bigger plans for her and spared her of that burden. And I'm sorry, but her entrance and exit into the courtroom was iconic.
Okay, right up here, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Please call your next witness. State.
Yeah. State calls Wendy Adelson.
Coming in with the most enormous bag like Gia Gunn.
This is great.
Just got off the boat, you know, a little trip from Asia, just landed like fresh tilapia.
Tell me I'm wrong though.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now.
I was telling him I used to work juvenile justice a little bit in forensic psychiatry.
He is so cute.
This
He
is
needed a
great.
bellhop.
That was a great job. That was a great job.
That
Yeah.
was great,
Charlie
Jackie.
thank you. Charlie was so mean to her, though. My God.
So mean. And manipulative. I know.
Yeah. Wow. So what show was that from, Jackie?
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, that's what it. That was great. That was great. Wait, so was that really a man holding that?
Yes, that's Gia Gunn, and she used to follow me on Instagram when I used to do my makeup YouTube channel. Yeah, forever ago. No, she was iconic. She was so good. And every time I saw June, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is Gia Gunn coming in with that hula hoop of a bag.
Yeah. Yeah. She loves those Louis Vuitton bags and
She
always
looks
had pictures of them.
beautiful every time. Her hair is done in the back, Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy's hair looks like she's been like, something's happened to her right before court when she's on her back. Like, do you see that they like zoomed in on her? The only witness that Court TV or the Tallahassee Democrat viewed from the back and stayed there for many minutes. Like that was on purpose. That was some shade right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That was great. I did the spoof of Wendy wearing the bar mitzvah red robe. And it's actually kind of hard to purposefully make your hair look like a mess. I was like shaking my head upside down and trying to like make it look frizzy. But I think the natural way my hair goes is flat. So
I can make mine look, yeah.
Wendy looks like she's wearing clip-ins, like the extra poof in the back. It looks like she's got some fake hair in there. But
that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it looks to me, especially at Donna's trial.
Mhm. Yeah,
But yeah,
somebody said it looked like she just got some clip-ons from Sally Beauty
Yeah.
Supply or something. Stuck it in there. I
Way
guess
we
we're
all
being
did,
kind of catty.
2007. Whatever.
Well,
It's the only thing. Yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
I was gonna say when you're an unindicted co-conspirator to murder, we can be a little catty.
100%. If the worst we're doing is making fun of Wendy, that's
And
fine.
June.
She's done.
I don't have very positive feelings about June. And here's why. Here's why.
Too.
Yeah.
Because of the backpedaling. I don't respect it.
I
Okay?
didn't care for that either.
I don't like the backpedaling, and she's done it every time she's testified. And there was one of the trials where they asked her, when was the last time you spoke to Charlie Adelson? And she said, oh, last night. Oh, what'd you guys talk about? And now all of a sudden you don't want to fess up to everything you told the investigators.
Yeah.
So that turned me off her, and she's very flaky. Sorry, but she is.
She still has every single picture of her and Charlie.
And nobody comes
on
for
her
me either.
Facebook,
That's
too.
my opinion. You can have your opinion. Don't come
Yeah,
for me.
no, nobody's mad at you
I
for
agree.
having an opinion.
You have
Yeah.
valid points.
I'm talking to the chat because I know how they can be.
What'd you say, Tracy?
No, I just said she had those were valid.
Yes, I agree, because especially at that 2019 trial, it was so obvious. All the commenters were criticizing her on YouTube, and justifiably so. So obvious she was trying to backpedal and lie
Totally.
and try to downplay what she had told the police back in 2018 when she was broken up
Angry with him.
it
Yeah.
was so obvious she was back again together with him because she was still showing pictures back then in 2019 of herself and Charlie in some Louis Vuitton bags. I think it was either Facebook or Instagram because I saw it.
And
Yeah.
somebody says she's having to like post, or she has in the past posted the receipts. Like, no, I bought it myself.
The condo. Yeah. Well, someone said, well, you should know Charlie would do things in underhanded ways. So
I think they paid for Katie's defense. I feel
yeah.
very strongly that they found some backdoor way, because where did Catherine McBano's family get money to pay for, count them, 1, 2, 3 lawyers for 2 trials in Tallahassee, and they're from Miami?
I thought her brother's wife
She stole money, but
well,
I'm
but
sure
then-
they had to pay that money back.
Well, yeah.
So I just think they found some kind of underhanded backdoor way to fund her
agree.
defense.
Yeah, they had like a, they had a hearing about that.
Yes.
This to specifically ask, and they were like, no, it doesn't tie back to. They're not that stupid. They're not going to write her a check from their bank account. Like they've known better.
Her
after
brother, then
they
the
found
brother
some way
could
to
say
do
it's
it.
from the family.
But
It could
Tara
have been.
Kawas made them take that hearing behind closed doors.
Yeah.
She didn't want it publicly
They were
known
told.
who was paying them or how they were
Yeah,
getting paid.
because I'm
So
sure there's the connection anyway.
there is some kind of connection, because
Agreed.
they are from the same office as Charlie's attorney at the time.
Yep.
Coincidence?
Right next door.
Yeah, that same building. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that annoys me. That Catherine's not telling the truth about that.
Yeah, if that's true, I mean, well, Katie's still claiming that they offered to pay her legal bills, but then she and her family supposedly turned it down. So who knows what the truth is at this point? Yeah.
That's true.
Well, Tracey, do you have any connections with the Weinsteins?
Well, Peter Weinstein, I go into the court that has his name up there all the time. He's got a court, I think it's just the courtroom. I don't know if it's the whole hall, but it says his name. But no, I probably have worked maybe a long time ago, but I don't remember, with them. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Jose Baez? Have you ever run into him?
I have not. No.
Oh.
Nope. I've only seen him on TV, just like everybody, most people.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I feel like Wendy probably doesn't have a lot of choices for potential defense attorneys if and when she gets arrested, because Laura seems more like a white collar crime type of person as opposed to murder trial experience. So who knows who she could potentially hire.
Jose Baez is busy with the Jacksonville one, the Jared Brightigan.
Oh yeah.
He's representing Shanna Gardner.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if he could, and he's also representing this. I think he's 12 years old, 14. I don't know, this teenager who murdered his mother in Miami. So he's kind of busy. So I don't know if Wendy would be able to get him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who she gets.
It doesn't.
I think that the evidence is going to be overwhelming. She might as well just save the money and get the cheapest lawyer she can get, because there's going to be no difference. I mean, what's the difference going to be?
They've
Nothing.
all burned their money.
Evidence
all the
is
money
evidence.
they paid, they might as well have burned it.
Yeah. Well, one of you guys mentioned that you hoped there would be more women on the jury for
that was
Wendy.
Tracey.
Oh, Tracey. Yeah, but in Donna's case, it was mostly men. And
But
they still
Donna,
convicted her.
Donna is not still young and
Oh,
attractive.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. So you
Wendy,
think that men would
he
be
looks like a foot now.
fooled?
Well, to us, but
Foot.
still to men. When I all the different podcasts and everybody that talks, it's always the guys that are like,
That are sticking up for her.
I don't think she did it, and all of us women are like, yeah, because we see right through her because we know. So yeah, I think in this case, I just think you'd have better luck if you had a few more women, but
I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It could
I
be
think
a jury full of 12 men, they'll convict her. Maybe if what's her name? That other attorney, Katie, that's in Tallahassee, Judy.
Oh,
Bogan.
Bogenschutz.
Yes. So she says maybe if this was being tried in Miami, weird things like that can happen with that jury pool, but not going to happen in Tallahassee.
It is a very different world down here than it is up there. My dad lives in Valdosta, Georgia, which is only about an hour.
Yeah.
And it's similar. It's the same. It's very, down here it's just, the things I see on the street, it'd be like if you're in New York, LA, just big cities, nobody even cares. Even like 80-year-old people are just seeing some half naked whoever on the side of the road and they're just driving along like it's nothing. So it takes a lot to, face people here.
Yeah. I'm confident in the Tallahassee jury pool. They're not letting her go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did great. I was very impressed with those 3 jurors who spoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to answer. There was one question.
Yes.
And somebody had asked about this machine. So you can't really see it. This is the little machine.
Yes.
Oh.
Got 22 keys. And they wanted to know, why is it only 22 keys? And basically, instead of typing on a keyboard letter by letter, it's a combination of letters makes a sound. So I'm just listening to sounds, just the syllables, just sounds. So as I'm sitting, I don't have to know how to spell the word. It could be some crazy word I've never heard of, but it's just all syllabic.
So cool.
Yeah. So that's how you can go so fast, because you're not going letter by letter. You're going sound by sound by sound by sound. So that's that.
So after you use the machine, do you then have to listen to the recording to make sure everything is correct?
I don't. I will, if there's a spot where I've got 3 or 4 people all talking over each other, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not sure if that was, I make a little note to myself. So I go check those spots. But no, I'm not going to go listen. That's what I'm there for. So no, I'm not going to go re-listen to the whole thing again. I would never make any money.
Yeah, it's so time consuming, because when Loophole Lawyer and I first read Janice and Charlie's phone call from jail, I had to listen to this recording off of Pretty Lies and Alibis over and over and over again. I had to keep rewinding, and because they're mumbling part of the time, it was very hard to hear. And I was like, good Lord, this is crazy. It takes forever to get a transcript correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done I did a deposition not long ago where in the middle of the depo, they stopped it and said, okay, they wanted me to write a recording between an insurance adjuster and the witness. Well, I couldn't really make it out. And the guy wanted it right then because he wanted it. So I had to go in the other room. Same thing. I had to listen to it over and over and keep going back. And because, if I'm in a deposition, I stop. If I don't understand something, I say, repeat that. You're talking too fast, one at a time. That's how it is these days. I'm like an air traffic controller, just telling everybody how to, behave so we can get a good transcript, because that's the whole goal, is you want your transcript to be the most accurate it can be.
Yeah.
And Judy, I'll send you a website that I use that automatically does like a full transcription of YouTube videos. It's awesome. If you're like searching for like a specific, word or line in a YouTube video, I use this one website, and it's absolutely awesome. It saved me probably hundreds of hours.
Wow. Is it free?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
And it's
Okay.
great. It's great. I'll send you the link.
Okay,
I'll
thank
text
you. Yeah,
it's
because
awesome.
I was looking at the automated transcript off of YouTube, but it's totally wrong. There were all sorts of typos and words that were not correct. So, yeah, it was exhausting, but at least we had fun and lots of people watched it. So, yeah. Oh,
Vince cracks me
Tracy,
up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you feel when Wendy told Kappelman the transcript is wrong when Kappelman tried to cross-examine her with something?
Yeah. Well, and not only that, I believe she was speaking about the recording. It was the recording. It wasn't, one of us, but one of us did type it up. You listen to it. I mean, even if any of us typed it up, you're going to listen to that thing 30, 20 times, so many times. So yeah, but it was good because it just made her look more guilty, in my opinion.
He was talking about the transcription that Georgia had given her to read. And she's like, I think there are errors in the transcription. And that to me was at Charlie's trial. And that was her effort to please her mother, just like the banana bread nonsense. She made up some of these weird stories because Donna was, on her to do good for her brother. And,
how is she making Dan Markel banana bread when he eats kosher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And gave him a hug.
She's just making it up. It was
the most transparent lie ever. Like, okay, this is your third trial and this is the first time we're hearing this.
And I love how Georgia says, on account of the banana bread.
Right.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, she has such dry wit.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny sometimes.
Her affect is, you just
and
can't
the day of the murder, she's sitting in the interview room and she doesn't say anything like that. She says, my parents have every reason to be angry at him. She doesn't say, oh no, everything's been fine. Banana bread.
Yeah, to the point where she's like, oh, well, they sounded surprised. That's good.
Yeah, that's
thank
a relief.
God, because they have more reason than anybody to hate him, but they're not, they're not
They
capable
never
of
would.
this.
They would
Yeah,
never.
and she says something like, I'm so relieved, or like, I couldn't handle that right now. It's like,
Wendy was looking out for Wendy from day one.
Yes.
Day one.
I want to ask you something, Judy. So when Wendy gets arrested, let's say, will they be able to play her, that interrogation, or well, not really, that
interview
with Detective Isom? Will they be able to play that for the jury?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what other criminal defense attorneys have said on YouTube. So, but usually it would, see, this is why I don't get it. It's like it would have been great to cross-examine people by showing videos of them, but maybe from a technical standpoint, maybe it's too cumbersome to have exact video clips when the person tries to lie. But sure, they could definitely use it.
Well, then they would have to, so would that all have to get introduced in evidence as one whole exhibit, or would they be able to parse that out, or do you think that would be a lot of arguing between, what's coming in, what's not coming in?
Probably the latter, because that was some issue that Donna's attorneys brought up when they tried to get a new trial, saying that it was just some sort of incomplete bit of info that was presented to the jury.
Right.
So they'd probably have some sort of big motion hearing before the trial to figure out what could be introduced.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of out of my wheelhouse. I can answer questions.
They have lots and lots of motions before.
Yeah.
Trial, sure.
Yeah. Tons
every little thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about the plot, the alleged plot to harm Robert? I believe that. We don't know details.
That's why they brought him in from the back. He had protection.
Oh.
Because he didn't, when he testified, he didn't come in through the courtroom door.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah, he was brought in from the side.
Oh.
So I think that must have had to do with the plot and just his safety.
Yeah.
Well, it's written down. I don't think that the state would say anything that they didn't have evidence on. So for
Exactly.
them to put this in a motion, and you can get, so it's the response, because it's in part of the response from the defense talks about this, and it's redacted on the docket from Donna, but then there is the full non-redacted, the exact same response that's on the Court of Appeals website. So if you go to the Court of Appeals and you look it up there, everything that's redacted on Donna's docket is completely wide open on the other side. So this talks about, it's in the same response that's talking. It's when they're trying to get Judge Everett to recuse himself. And they're talking about, Harvey was wiretapped and all this stuff, but there's huge chunks of it that's blacked out. Not on the Court of Appeals. I have the whole thing in my file folder.
I think that a lot of it is still under seal, and a lot of it was suppressed because it's too prejudicial. I mean, if the jury hears that she tried to harm her son so he wouldn't testify against her, it would have been over. It's too prejudicial. So even though,
do you think that they're holding it? Do you think they're holding it back until maybe after Wendy and Harvey get?
There was a whole under seal thing to do with Rob's deposition and
Right.
Rashbaum. I think they had a hearing because they were trying to keep him from testifying at all, I think.
Right. I wonder if they'll open that up though for.
They should at some point unseal it.
Yeah.
And then the plot thing, I think, had to do with the jailhouse snitches.
Yeah, because Georgia Kappelman, she did say that everyone that was responsible, I think it might have been in her closing. I'm not sure. She said everyone that was responsible for this basically should pay for it.
Yes.
So if she's the prosecutor and she's saying that, and we all think she definitely thinks Wendy was involved, I would really just be shocked. I think we all would.
Wendy said that too.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
when
9 times
when
in her.
asked her, well, yeah, she asked if she was a suspect 9 times, and she says something alluding to that 25 times because I have it in like a full on, back to back to back. But Fulford asks her, you said that, anybody who's responsible should be held accountable for this. And Wendy says yes, and she says, including you, right? And Wendy says, anyone who's responsible, which I think is the closest we will ever hear her admit that, yes, I had something to do with this. Because I feel like 2 years ago, Wendy would have given some snide, remarks.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
I didn't have any, not me. Yeah.
I'm not afraid. Yeah.
Yes.
But if she had nothing to do with it, I think that's the response she would have given. Right? If she says, including you, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Not
and that's,
anybody.
I feel like, what she would normally say.
Exactly.
She's definitely not. I mean, I literally swear people in and then I just watch them lie. That's what I do. Not everybody.
Anyone.
And I can tell a lie, honestly, from a mile away. My daughter, when she was a kid, I used to tell her, you can do anything you want, just don't lie. Don't lie to me because I'm going to be really mad because I'm going to fight. And she never did. And then she would tell me like a lot, but she never would. And as soon as this whole thing came up and we saw Wendy, I was like, yeah, okay, and I'm not like one of those body language. I can't tell you like, oh, they did this. It's just, I think from just being exposed for decades of watching people, you're just like, that is such a lie. So
yeah,
hopefully, she gets what's coming to her.
Well, I think that's what was so great about them putting Wendy and Rob back to back is the jury could see the stark difference. Here's the daughter. She is under subpoena. She is being protected by, use and derivative use immunity. And she doesn't remember anything. She's qualifying every answer that she has. And here's Rob, who's just answering the questions like a normal, innocent human being. So having them back to back, I think, really put the spotlight on, how incredibly guilty Wendy looks on the stand with, the BS that she pulls up there.
You're so right. You're so right.
Yeah. All those jurors, they kept saying they felt sure she was involved and when she going to be arrested.
And the jurors from the prior trials that spoke, not none spoke from Charlie's, but maybe the first two, I don't know. But I remember hearing them say they didn't believe Wendy as a
Yeah,
witness.
somebody asked about it, I think in Katie's retrial, the jury,
Mhm.
because they could ask questions afterwards.
Yes.
And that was one of their questions, like, is she gonna be charged? You know,
Yeah.
what does her immunity mean? Does that mean she can't be charged? And he's like, nope, that's not what it means.
Uh-oh, what's the Jack? It says, I think it's time to play Jackie.
Yeah, can we play that? It's this. See, Jackie is would you say you sort of sang professionally? So she has a great singing voice and she makes up some songs about this whole case.
Yeah, so my songs I have a Wendy song, the Donna song, and then not yet to be released Charlie song. And I did those all before I had a microphone. So these were all AI sung, but I do plan on re-singing them in my voice. I'm going to re-record them.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can I play it?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, this is the one you can do either. There's two versions. This is the one where she's singing, and then I have another one that's just like a music video. But
okay, well, I
they're
watched
both
this and I
equally
thought
funny.
it was hilarious. So let's play this then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oops, now we have to watch.
Oh, a panda drum.
And then she taps the microphone.
That was so good.
Featuring a rat that lives in her hair that I have named Francois.
I love that rat wearing the Wendy dress. That is so cute.
And Martin
That's
in
so
the
sweet.
chat said it's the next Carpenters. Bite your tongue.
That
The rat
was
and Wendy.
good. So good.
Yeah. So the prosecutor was suggesting that in response to some text from Charlie or something about planning Dan's murder or the upcoming shooting, that Wendy said, "This is so sweet."
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe
That's
just
right.
unprompted being excited about it.
Yeah, that she was like all gung ho about it.
Yep. 8:02 in the morning. Sends that
I
text
mean,
to Charlie.
and that to me is what makes Wendy the demon.
Yeah.
It shows you who that is.
Mhm.
Because this is so sweet.
Yep. It's disgusting. I mean, they no thought about the kids at all. And there is a conversation between Charlie and Donna after he's convicted, and they're talking about his son, Roman, who was 5 at the time. And he's telling Donna, like, I still haven't told him like where I am. He had been in jail for over a year at that point. He hadn't told him where he was, and she says, "Oh, he's too young to even know. Like, you don't even have to tell him." So the second that I heard that, I said, "Oh my God, that's probably why there was such a rush to get this done, because she doesn't think that kids can remember underneath a certain age." So when I heard that about the autobiographical memory from Jeff, I was like,
But Donna put that in her email that Georgia read in the rebuttal. She said that children don't even have a memory of life before the
that
age
is
of whatever.
nonsense.
What kind of crappy kindergarten teacher was she? That makes you kind of scared that she was a teacher of young children for a little while.
Crazy.
Maybe she was a bad one, and then she was like, "Well, they're never going to remember."
Yeah, she wanted to control those little kids.
Yeah, as a mom, I kind of wonder if she was physically abusive, because she strikes me as the type of mother who would have beat her children if they didn't do what she wanted.
I mean, just looking at Rob up on the stand, he looked like a scared little boy. And I said in like one of my last videos, because I have a clip of him up there, I'm like, what did they do to him when he was little? Because I mean, the fear was palpable. I mean, he knew he was doing the right thing, but you could tell that just being there made him so physically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Standing right in front of, Harvey's sitting there glaring at him. Donna's sitting there like.
The psychological can be just as bad as physical. I mean, sometimes worse.
Even worse. Those wounds don't heal.
Yeah, I didn't get a sense that he was afraid. I think he was he would have wanted to say, I believe they did it. Like, that's what I was thinking. And that's why the judge admonished him up front and said, don't say whether you think any of your family members are guilty of a crime, because I'm sure he said that in his deposition.
It's interesting. I got a different take on that. My viewpoint, I thought he was, I don't know if afraid, like not physically afraid for
No,
his
I
safety,
agree.
but I did get a feeling of a little bit of being afraid, being up there. But then there was a point, I don't remember when, in his testimony where it was like a little light switched, and it was like he kind of started getting mad.
Yeah.
It was more like he became in his power.
I don't know. I didn't see
He was
fear. I
just
saw
ready to
maybe
tell
some
it.
anxiety, because of the
Yeah,
situation.
definitely.
But he added in some things he didn't have to add. Like when he said she was very matter of fact. Like, go back and watch how he
Yes,
says
you're
that. It's like he wants to get that in there.
Yeah.
So I feel like he wanted to do the right thing. He believes what he believes, and he wants to play his part. And Donna, looking at him, I want to say real quick, some people were saying, oh, she was shooting daggers. I didn't see that. I think Donna, yeah, she's angry at him, but I think she has a longing for her oldest son because he left and moved way away. And I'm sure she resented that. And when that call with her and Charlie talking about Rob, when she's saying, oh, I'm not a psychiatrist, something's wrong, I don't know what it is, she's basically telling people something's wrong with him, and that's, we don't know what it is, why he stays away. He only comes, the night before, he attends the party and he's gone the next day. Something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
But I think she resents his rejection of her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I saw her looking at him with a mix, but I saw some longing in there because that is her firstborn son, and she
Yeah.
hadn't seen him in almost 10 years. They haven't
Yeah, I feel
spoken,
like she was
so
disgusted though that he was up there. I feel like she felt betrayed. I feel like
Yeah.
that she was just, she couldn't believe it. Here we've got Wendy who won't testify on her behalf, and then Rob is testifying against her actively, and she had just got to be. I mean, you see the difference between the way she's standing there looking at Wendy. Hold on, I got to get my baby. And the way she's looking at Rob, it's like night and day.
oh, she was just beaming. She was so happy to see Wendy.
Yeah.
She walked in the first time.
Yeah. That's why it was kind of funny how Fulford did throw some shade at Wendy too, trying to blame her and Charlie for cooking up the scheme. So I was like, good, at least, they know that's like a way out for Donna, is to point fingers at her kids.
Right.
Yeah, she's trying to create reasonable doubt, and it just wasn't effective at all.
Yeah. So Tracey, when did you start following this case?
From the beginning, right when the arrest happened. Well, when Dan Markel was murdered, and then I remember when he was murdered, and then I remember all the trials, and but I can't say. I mean, I've watched all the trials, but I haven't gone over and over and over, just because I look at it's my job, so it just gets a little much. I don't follow like all true crime. It's just this case.
Yeah.
Case like the Murdaugh case. I like that one. There's a few, but I'm not into all, true crime.
Yeah, same here. This is the case that I've totally done a deep dive into. Yeah, just to answer John, I think he probably does know because he's been helping the state from the beginning. He voluntarily spoke with investigators back in 2014. So you would think that they would, as a courtesy, let him know behind the scenes what could have been said about him, because he has to be concerned for his safety too.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't put it past them to do something. You saw how sneaky Donna was trying to influence her jail friends. So shows you how conniving she is. Yeah.
I wonder if Rob was surprised. Like, I mean, he's her kid, so I wonder, even though she's being accused and he thinks she did that, I bet that had to have even shocked him. that she
course.
would go
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a mom and I have a brother. And if I found out that they conspired and had somebody murdered, I would just be sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? Because you got to carry that now yourself for the rest of your life. You know,
Yeah.
my mom and brother are in prison for murder. And, you know, I would just feel, I can't imagine what he's going through, what this has done to his life as well.
Right.
But I'm so glad he's in touch with the Markells, and they can have a good relationship.
Yeah, that was nice to hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I was gonna say,
unfortunately,
that's another reason too why they need to go get Wendy, because of the Markells.
Exactly.
Yes.
Her, and justice needs to be served, and we're all here for it. We're ready.
We are.
Bring it on, Georgia. Bring it on.
Yeah,
we were ready
so
yesterday.
ready. Yeah, I sure hope it happens. So yeah, so Monday, 3 p.m. is the sentencing. And I'll bet Donna will show up in a wheelchair because she was already in a wheelchair getting to and from the jail. So why be carted
moaning
in?
and groaning.
Yeah, moaning and groaning. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious when Vince like highlighted her moaning and groaning.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't help but laugh. I'm
You think
sorry.
she's gonna say anything, Judy?
Yeah, I think so because she's so arrogant and she didn't get to testify at her trial. So this is probably her last big performance where she can be like, "This is a huge mistake. I had nothing to do with the murder of Jibbas," or whatever she could say. Yeah,
Right.
I think she's going to make herself look like a big victim.
Of course.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah. So, do you guys have some closing remarks? Because I do have to do some family types of obligations. Hey, Jackie, you're back.
Hi,
Okay,
sorry.
we're gonna wrap it up because it's been an hour and a half. So,
Yeah.
any closing remarks from you guys?
Don't give up hope on Wendy. Still, I think a lot of people are just irritated because obviously, I mean, it has been 11 years, but they've been trucking right along. You can't deny that everything's still been moving. So I think it's going to be soon. And I literally have confetti cannons right here.
Oh,
I'm ready. I told everybody, I said, no matter when it happens, whatever state I'm in, you're going to see me on here and I'm going to be shooting these off.
That's great.
I'm going to go to that trial.
Me too. I want to
Yes.
try to go drive to Tallahassee for that.
Yeah, Nadine, we'll just drive on up and
We can go on up. Yeah.
drive all over, look at all the haunts, and go to that trial and be supportive of the Markells. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I'll close. Thanks to the chat. Justice for Dan.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for having us, Judy.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's great to meet you guys. Tracy, Nadine, Jackie.
Yeah.
You guys are all awesome trial watchers, and we love Jackie's channel.
Yes.
So thank you guys. I'm sorry I have to run. There's some people
Bye.
probably getting annoyed with me, waiting on me. So yeah, so we'll be in touch then. Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.